It is 3:15 in the morning. Your phone lights up on the nightstand. Another urgent email from a boss who apparently never sleeps. You just stare at the ceiling, listening to the hum of the air conditioner. You have the house, the 30-year mortgage, the nice car sitting in the driveway, the impressive job title that everyone at the dinner party congratulates you for. You did everything right. You played by their rules. But lately, as you sit in traffic on your way to that office, gripping the steering wheel until your knuckles turn white, you catch yourself hoping for a minor car accident. Nothing fatal, just a broken leg or a fender bender, something bad enough to put you in a hospital bed for a week, where no one can ask you for a report, where your kids cannot ask you for dinner, just so you can finally have a valid excuse to rest. If that dark thought has crossed your mind, please listen to me carefully. You are not crazy. You are not ungrateful. You are just deeply, profoundly exhausted. Right now, as you listen to my voice, check your shoulders. You are holding them up by your ears. Drop them. Unclench your jaw. Take a breath. Society told us this was the ultimate American dream, but it feels an awful lot like a trap. We have become voluntary prisoners in a beautifully decorated cage. We wear golden handcuffs and pretend they are expensive jewelry. They call it the rat race, but the devastating tragedy of the rat race is, even if you win, you are still a rat. Tonight, we are going to look at why your soul is violently rejecting the life you worked so hard to build, and why the media shames you by calling it quiet quitting, when in reality, it is your psychological immune system trying to keep you alive. We are told that relentless ambition is a virtue. But let me tell you the ugly truth. For most of us, busyness is just a highly respected addiction. It is a numbing agent. Carl Jung talked about something called the persona. It is the mask we wear to negotiate with society. You put it on every single morning when you tie your shoes or swipe your security badge. You smile at the boss you secretly despise. You type out polite responses to passive-aggressive emails. You attend the mandatory weekend company barbecue and pretend to care about corporate synergy. You perform, and you get paid for the performance. But why do we keep running on this treadmill until our knees give out? Because somewhere along the line, we made a terrifying psychological trade. We confused our job title with our actual identity. We started using our productivity to buy our right to exist. The subconscious logic is brutal. If I answer emails at 10 p.m., I am valuable. If I get that promotion, I am finally enough. But the persona is a hungry ghost. The more you feed it, the more of your authentic self it consumes. All the parts of you that do not fit into the corporate mold, your exhaustion, your creative desires, your urge to just sit in the grass and do absolutely nothing. They do not just disappear. They get shoved down into the dark basement of your mind. Jung called this the shadow, and the shadow is getting heavier every day. Let me ask you a very uncomfortable question. If your company fired you tomorrow, if they stripped away your title, your corner office, your impressive salary, who is the person left standing in the room? If the silence following that question makes your stomach drop, it is because your persona has completely hijacked your soul. The rat race is not just an economic system, it is a collective trauma response. We are running ourselves into the ground to avoid the quiet terror of facing our own emptiness. We use the exhaustion of the corporate ladder so we never have to feel the grief of a life unlived. But nature will only let you fake it for so long. Eventually, your internal system realizes that this path is leading to spiritual death. So, it pulls the emergency brake. The media has a very trendy, very judgmental name for this collapse. They call it quiet quitting. They label you as ungrateful or lazy. But what if I told you it is the exact opposite? What if I told you quiet quitting is not a moral failing? It is a profound psychological awakening. The corporate media wants you to feel guilty. They say you are stealing company time by doing exactly what your contract dictates. Let that bizarre logic sink in for a second. Doing your actual job without sacrificing your sanity is now considered quitting. When you stop volunteering for endless unpaid overtime, when you refuse to check emails while eating dinner with your kids, they label you a quiet quitter. But from a psychological standpoint, you are finally waking up. Your psyche is performing a brilliant strategic retreat. It is pulling your life force away from a system that feeds on your anxiety. Think about the famous corporate ladder we're supposed to climb. We're told that if we just push a little harder, if we just reach that next promotion, we will finally find safety and respect. But a ladder implies a destination. It implies a peak where you can stop and rest. Look closely at the people above you. Look at your boss. Do they look rested? Do they look free? There is no peak, because it is not a ladder. It is a treadmill disguised as a ladder. And the speed of that treadmill is controlled by a machine that would replace your job posting before your obituary is even published. If you died tomorrow, your employer would have a new body in your ergonomic chair by Monday. That is not a cynical complaint. That is simply an economic reality. So, when your nervous system suddenly refuses to care anymore, when you sit in a high-stakes meeting and realize you feel absolutely nothing, do not panic. You are not broken. Your internal operating system is running a diagnostic test. It has correctly identified that your emotional investment is yielding a toxic return. It is shutting down the non-essential programs to save the core, to save your soul. Quiet quitting is your mind building a much-needed firewall. It is a silent declaration. You can have my labor from 9 to 5. You can have my professional skills, but you can no longer have my identity. This is the ultimate glitch in the matrix of the rat race. The moment you realize that winning the game actually means refusing to play it on their terms. But pulling that plug is terrifying, because if you stop giving them your soul, how do you actually survive the 40 hours a week you're stuck inside that building? How do you protect your inner peace when everyone around you is still running on the treadmill? Let me tell you about a man named Mark. Mark was a sales director, 45 years old, high blood pressure, a mortgage that kept him awake at night. Every Monday morning meeting used to be a battlefield for his nervous system. His boss would criticize the quarterly numbers, and Mark would feel it in his chest, a physical tightening, a frantic need to explain himself, to defend his honor, to prove he was good enough. He would leave those meetings sweating, angry, replaying every insult in his head during the drive home. But then, something snapped. It was not a breakdown, it was a breakthrough. One Tuesday, in the middle of a particularly brutal dressing down, Mark looked at his boss. He saw the red face, the bulging vein in the forehead, and for the first time, Mark did not absorb the energy. He realized a profound truth. This anger does not belong to me. This chaos is not my chaos. Mark nodded politely. He took notes.
He said, "I will look into that immediately." But his soul stayed seated in a chair of absolute stillness. He did his job. He executed the tasks, but he stopped donating his emotional blood to the company vampire. That night, Mark drove home, and for the first time in 20 years, the car was quiet. No ruminating, no imaginary arguments. He walked through his front door and he was actually there, not physically present, but mentally absent. He tasted his dinner. He listened to his daughter talk about her science project without checking his phone under the table. This is the raw healing of detachment. It is the realization that your labor is a transaction, not a moral obligation. You are renting them your time. You are not selling them your life. I want you to try something with me right now. Close your eyes for a second if you can. Imagine yourself at your workplace. See the piles of work. See the demanding emails. Now, visualize a thick pane of glass sliding down between you and all of that noise. You can see it. You can interact with it. But it cannot touch you. It cannot enter your chest. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the tension leaving your jaw. You are safe behind the glass. You are still effective. You are still professional. But you are no longer unguarded. This is the art of caring less, so you can care more about the things that actually matter. But creating this boundary is only the first step, because once you stop feeding the machine, you are left with a terrifying amount of free energy and a question that haunts us all. If I am not my job, then what is enough?
Let us get brutally practical. How do you actually quiet quit without getting fired? And more importantly, without feeling like a failure? The Stoics had a practice called defining your enough. In a consumer culture designed to make you feel perpetually poor, enough is a radical act of rebellion. I want you to take a hard look at your expenses. Not the ones you need to survive, but the ones you use to numb your pain. The expensive car lease to impress people at stoplights, the designer clothes you buy after a bad meeting, the DoorDash meals you order because you are too exhausted to cook. We spend money we do not have to buy things we do not need to impress people we do not even like. What if you stopped? What if you realized that your freedom is more valuable than your status symbol? Quiet quitting is not just about doing less work. It is about needing less validation. Here's your assignment for tomorrow. Set a hard boundary, a non-negotiable line in the sand. At 6 p.m. or whatever time your contract ends, turn off your notifications. Delete the Teams app from your personal phone. I'm serious. Do it. You will feel a wave of panic. That's your addiction talking. Sit with that panic. Breathe through it. And then do something radical. Go for a walk without listening to a podcast about productivity. Cook a meal from scratch. Stare at the wall if you have to. Reclaim the boredom that you've been running from. Because in that boredom, you will find the pieces of yourself you left behind. You will realize that the company will not collapse without you, and more importantly, you will not collapse without the company. You are building a life that you do not need to escape from, and that's the only success that matters. But be warned, when you start unplugging from the matrix, the people around you will get uncomfortable. They will call you lazy. They will call you unambitious. Do not let them drag you back down. So here is the final truth of the night. You are not lazy. You are just awake. And in a world that profits from your sleepwalking, waking up is the most dangerous thing you can do. Deciding to do your job, collect your paycheck, and go home to hug your children without checking your email, that is not failure. That is an act of revolution. You are reclaiming your humanity from a spreadsheet. I need to know who is with me. Tonight, I want you to make a silent pact, not with me, but with the person in the mirror. Delete that work app from your personal phone. Turn off the notifications. And if you are brave enough to disconnect, leave a single word in the comments below. Unplugged. Write it down. Unplugged. I will read every single one of them because I need to know that I am not the only one sitting in the dark, choosing freedom over fear. But a warning before you go: silence is loud. When you turn off the noise of the rat race, you have to listen to your own thoughts. And for people like us, that is dangerous. You have a high-functioning brain. It got you this far. But that same intelligence is now turning against you. It analyzes everything. It predicts disaster. It refuses to let you enjoy the peace you just fought for. Have you ever noticed that the smarter you are, the harder it is to simply be happy? Why do smart people struggle the most to find the joy that seems so easy for everyone else? The answer lies in the video appearing on your screen right now. Why smart people struggle to be happy. Click it. Let us dismantle that trap together. Good night, and welcome back to your life.